So I wanted to talk to you about the following. On social media, we always see just the good parts of our lives, right? But I lost a lot of money yesterday. Actually, it's a lot of money for me to lose because I'm always very frugal and I made some stupid mistake in the stock market. But the main point is not that. The main point is how I feel about it. A couple years ago, this would have been super devastating for me. Uh, I was never really struggling. I do remember that when I first immigrated to the States, I remember it so clearly. So I was an exchange student first in Hawaii. You know what? Let me take you for a walk. Um, so I was an exchange student in Hawaii, and that's where I ended up migrating to. But after I graduated back in Germany and decided to come back to the States to look for opportunities, let me just set this up here so I can walk. I'll take you guys on my walk a little bit in my garden, if that's cool. So, give me a thumbs up, by the way, if you hear me, if this mic's working. Or if it doesn't, then let me know that you won't hear what I'm asking. So, going back, when I was first coming back to the States to look for opportunities, I was very concerned because I knew that, America is kind of like eat what you kill. And I was literally looking for places that I would sleep when I would become homeless eventually. Because to me, it was more like a matter of job in America. And I always started companies or little ventures here and there back in Hawaii. And then now I live in Florida. Um, so I was always frugal and I always knew how to save money and be efficient. And up until a few years ago, if something like this would have happened to me, I would have been absolutely devastated. But today, even though I lost $20,000 yesterday, and mind you, I used to play poker, and I'm used to losing money, but not that much. But today, because of AI, I want to thank you guys as well for it, because part of what I do on the AI Adopters Club and how I see how I can really create value and people take this and they apply it in their day to day, it just shows that it's valuable work. But aside from that, all the opportunities that open up for me because of AI. Um, yeah, I'm losing Wi-Fi signal. Let me check if I can switch to. This is going to be a little bit better. 5G. Don't. So going back to the opportunities I got from AI, um, they're really helpful because yes, you don't have like a corporate cushy job, but you kind of make your own future in a way. In the last 2 or 3 years, I've been making consistently well into the high six figures with my advisory work. The newsletter is paying for my mortgage, which is great, but this is kind of at the whim of Substack's algorithm. All right, doggy. Oh, I got to show you guys a banana. I just saw one that popped up today in my garden. Um, so what I want to implore that is, I know it's uncertain times, but if you really lean into something, and currently that thing is AI, whether or not it's currently hyped or not, it's not going to go away. And I want to help you, obviously, through the newsletter, but also through something new that I'm working on to know how to make your own fortune in that field. But look at this. Isn't that cool? I had to cut down another banana this year because it was frozen, but this one is coming in nicely. Still crazy to me that I can go grow bananas in my backyard now. So, what was I trying to say? So, here's the thing. Whenever I talk to people about AI, and every conversation kind of leads to it, those are usually people that are somehow on the sidelines. They're doing their own business and they always have questions. But these conversations, while nice, they don't really bring us forward as people who are in that field and applying AI inside of our client businesses. So I want to create something that is a global coffee club, so to say. My logo is a coffee mug. Um, and so if you go to coffee.aiadopters.club, you can sign in for a wait list where I'm currently playing around with the concept of starting local coffee tables where you can sign up to be a host if you like, or be a guest in a local coffee table, even though I need mostly hosts right now. And then we will create those around the world. And I already have people signing up from around the world. And then also we will have an online community for um, for all these people that are connected, so we can collaborate, send each other business, and just have good conversations while building relationships with like-minded people. So that we don't always start the conversation from ground up, talking about should I choose ChatGPT or Claude, or what is a project, all these types of things. And the thing is basically solves a couple things. Number one, it gives you access to real relationships in your area, which I find more and more important these days, especially, since we're all kind of living behind the screen. The number two thing is it's going to help you understand what works, what doesn't, because there's so much opportunity in this field. I really don't feel I was born in the Cold War, like in Poland. I was smuggled over to Germany, right? So we didn't have much. Naturally, I come from a scarcity mindset, if I'm honest with you, right? And so I was always like, okay, I gotta be careful who I'm sharing resources with. But this is not really the case in AI, at least not right now. I don't feel like it. I feel like there's so much to go around. And when you collaborate with each other, it's generally for the benefit of everyone. So you learn from other people what they do in their practice, how they advise or how they build agents or how they go into companies and implement AI. And thirdly, you also do business together because look at me. Like I don't know if you checked out Claudia.aiadopters.club. She's a free open source, amazing agent harness that I built in January. And I don't. I should do better in promoting her because every time I go on a workshop and I talk to people and I get them to install her, man, people are just blown away. And I've been using her for my client business, for my private life, for my professional life since January. And I've been improving her ever since. I think there was like 150 releases so far. And I have other contributors. It's a free open source project. Check it out. But what I'm saying is, you essentially, what I do is I go into companies and I don't really build agents. I don't implement stuff. I mostly talk to leadership and I develop AI culture. I get deployed inside companies and then I replicate myself by hiring some like AI champions on the internal side, and then I clone my brain into theirs, and then they just move forward. But I do work with technology partners, so every time when there's something that I can't do, I love to refer business to a technology partner, and that's also another aspect of this AI coffee club. I still have to come up with a good name. Essentially, I guess it's just going to be the AI Adopters Club. But coffee.aiadopters.club is where you sign up. And so the third part is essentially the referrals that you can get from it. Because the way I envision this is imagine you're a host in your city or your area. There can be multiple hosts in your city. I would think it's good to keep the table at around 8 to 12 people, and everybody should have a little bit of a specialty, right? One person could be an advisor like me on a certain topic. Another one could be great at building agents. Another one would be great at marketing AI, or AI for marketing, and so on and so forth. Maybe somebody for legal or health or whatever. And then you refer business to each other, you get to know each other, and you learn from each other, right? So those are the things. I think by the end of this month, I'll have a first group Zoom call for everybody who signed up to the wait list. My goal is to help facilitate that, obviously under the AI Adopters Club brand. maybe give out some advice on how to start it to the people who are signing up for host as a host in their local cafe. And yeah, oh, and additionally, you'll also be seen as kind of like, if that's important to you, you'll be seen as a household name in your area, right? So you'll be the AI implementer person of interest in your local area. Yeah, so that's that. So that's essentially why I'm confident that even though I lost a lot of money and it's pissing me off. If you want to know, I invested into SpaceX and I knew it was going to go down. And I told everybody not to do it. And I just wanted to dip my finger in a jar, in a cookie jar. And it was going up. So I made immediately like 5K or so. But then instead of selling, I just doubled down during the time frame where I was in it. And then it just cratered. And then over the next 2 days, I was like, oh my God, I can't even look away. So I just sold that crap. And I'll wait until it bottoms out. I'll buy back in. I'll be fine. But yeah, let me know. Do you guys have any questions on the club, or what are your thoughts on AI implementation today? What are your thoughts over the weekend? Are you doing anything? Are you doing anything for Father's Day? We have Father's Day here in America. Matt, thank you so much for signing up. Love it. And as always, always appreciate any feedback on the newsletter. Substack is changing the algorithm, and also the value of certain type of information is changing over time. So I'm always trying to experiment. I will probably focus more on promoting Claudia because I do like the project. I think it's genuinely valuable. If you're a premium subscriber, you also get access to the workshop on how to properly install her, even though you can just figure it out yourself. What do you have here, Matthew? I see you wrote something. I'm launching beta phase. Oh, okay. So you're launching an app. That's awesome. There you go, man. I launched too many apps already, mostly for fun. I did have a lot of fun in one of the hackathons that Sabrina Ramanoff put on, I think in April. I made fifth place, I think, out of 300. That was fun. But the thing with apps is it's timing and distribution. So make sure you got that nailed down. I have another app that I use every day. I don't know if I should monetize it or not. I might. It's called rcp.ad, which is also rightclickprompt.com. I use it all the time, but obviously we're shifting away from just prompts, even though they're still important in certain areas where skills don't really make sense. But even with Claudia, since it's a desktop native app, it's a browser native app, I haven't been using it as much. And also overall, I'm typing less. I'm trying to really touch my computer as little as possible. So I'm just talking to it. Claudia now in the terminal is pretty much operating my entire computer. She's printing things on a loop. Like this morning, for example, she printed out a worksheet for my kids' homeschool. She does it every morning, Monday to Friday. And so she's become much more autonomous than before. So very, very rewarding. She helps me with my tax filings and all that. I haven't had her help me with trading. Maybe I should have. No, but she's also helping me build a trading bot, even though I'm not very familiar with it. Claudia is a framework on top of Anthropic's Claude Code right now. But actually, I tested her out, and she also works on Grok Build. She's basically a CLI agent that works on top of a CLI. So I tested her in Grok Build, obviously Anthropic Claude Code. And I believe I tested her inside of anti-gravity as well. As long as the system understands how to work with skills, The main thing that, from a technical perspective, that makes Claudia different is that she comes with her own dedicated database. So she pulls in a small SQLite database, and she also pulls in a local AI model that then makes her dream during the night so she can process the memories that you built. And then she builds um, like connections between you and your network and the commitments that you have between you and your friends or your clients, everything that you give her. I get 80% out of value from connecting my email and my Otter note taker for Zoom calls out of her. Obviously, she's connected to way more than that now, but that's what I've been running with her most of the time. And then if you ask her to look at her brain, she'll show you all the connections, like which person knows you why and through which organization or projects have you gotten to know each other, what are the memories, what are the commitments, what's overdue. So that's really the glue that keeps it all together, and it's much better than just a Obsidian MD file type of stack that everybody's raving about. And trust me, guys, I released her on the day that I actually learned about I learned about it after I released Claudia, and she's been with me since. And honestly, the other these other agents, there's a lot of hype. They can't even do the most basic thing. Like Hermes, I was a big fan originally when I heard of it, but it can't even write a freaking email every morning what I asked it to do. And that's like one of the most basic tasks. Um, yeah, check out Claudia. I actually would love to work with somebody who can help me turn her into a desktop app. I know I could probably wing it, but I really don't have the time. And then make her run on Open Router or something like that. So yeah, that's just not enough, not enough time in a day to do everything. But anyway, I've been talking for long enough. Just kind of wanted to give you my perspective on. I know the times are uncertain. You know, my life motto is to adapt and create. And here's my garage. Look at how clean it is. Isn't it cool? It's my workout gym, everything. Um, Let me just switch back the Wi-Fi on. So, like I said, it's uncertain times for everybody. All you can do is adapt and create. You got to burn the ship sometimes in order to focus on what's next. And AI definitely has uh, um, a lot of potential. It works out for you because everything else is just a waste of time. All right. That being said, hey, Matthew, I would love that, man. I'd love to get a coffee club, the AI Adapters Club launched at Oxford. Um, Thanks for being here, guys. Thanks for being with me. And yeah, have a wonderful weekend, okay? Keep your head up. Bye bye.